So this is technically our fourth and final video for the review of the spring midterm 2018. So we have more questions here, some radicals. So number 22, square roots. You could simplify them by splitting the root. So you have the square root of 75, the square root of b to the 7th. And 75 is not a perfect square number, so you want a perfect square number. You want to rewrite it with multiplication to get a perfect square number. So that would be 25 times 3. And when you split that root, you'll end up with 5 square root of 3. So, well, that's part of our answer. Now this other one, we have a b to the 7th, and we all should know that a square root is the same thing as a power of 1/2. So that means that it's kind of like dividing the exponent by 2. So you want an even power to be able to divide it by 2. So b to the 7th is not going to cut it for us. We want an even powered. So I'm going to rewrite that b to the 7th as b to the 6th times b to the 1. That way I could split the root, and then I could actually do the square root of b to the 6th. That will come out to b to the 3rd, no more square root. And the square root of b is simply going to stay the square root of b. So this is the other part of our answer. Now all we have to do is put what's on the outside and put everything else that's on the inside together as one radical. So I'm going to put the 5 and the b to the 3rd together, 5b to the 3rd. And then the square root of 3 and the square root of b, I'm going to put those together underneath one square root. That would be 3b. And that is your final answer for number 22. Let's move on to 23. 23, a little more interesting. We could just rearrange things. What do I mean by that? This says 2 times the square root of 2y, and then times 5 times the square root of 6y. So let's put the 2 times 5 together, and let's put the square root of 2y times the square root of 6y together. So 2 times 5, that is 10. And the other ones we're going to actually put together in one square root. So 2y times 6y, we end up with the square root of 12y squared. And of course there's a 10 out here in the front. So that almost is our answer, but the thing is we could simplify the square root of 12y squared. So let me rewrite this up here, more space, 10, and I'm going to split the root onto the 12 and onto the y squared. The square root of y squared, that's just y. That's pretty easy. But the square root of 12, you need to continue and break that down. So the square root of y squared is just y. The 10 is just 10. But the 12, you need to break that down to 4 times 3 so you could actually get a perfect square number. And the square root of 4, that's just 2. And the square root of 3 is going to stay the square root of 3. So I still need to bring down the 10, multiply it by 2. And this y, I need to bring it down but put it in front of the square root. So our final answer will be 10 times 2 is 20, and then that y that came down, that's outside the square root, and the square root of 3 at the very end. So that is the answer for number 23. I hope that makes sense. It is a systems of equation problem. So let's read through it and let's create a system of equations based on what they give us. So it says, tickets to the zoo cost $15 for adults and $9 for children. A class took a field trip and purchased 27 tickets for $285. How many students' tickets were purchased? And you could also answer how many adult tickets were purchased. So we need to create some equations. I want to create one equation based on money, for example. Help me out, guys. Each adult ticket. 15. So I'm going to put 15A. Now, why is that? Because if I buy one adult ticket, that's going to be 15 times 1. It's going to be $15. Okay. If I bought 2 adult tickets, that'd be 15 times 2. That'd be $30 total. So we want to write 15A because it's $15 for each adult ticket. And now, what am I going to write next on my equation? Plus 9. for C, so 9C. And if I do add the amount of money, how much did we spend overall? 285. So always create an equation based on money. This is my equation based on money. Okay. Now the other equation, we're going to actually make it on the number of tickets, right? Because we know that the other equation, we purchased a total of 27 tickets. Now I don't exactly know how many adult tickets or how many children tickets. That's what we're trying to find out. So if I don't know how many adults, I'm just going to put A for I don't know how many adults. Plus C, because I don't know how many children. But I do know that it's a total of 27 tickets. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the hard part of this, creating this system of equations. And now you need to solve it. So to solve this, you either need to eliminate the A's or the C's. I think it's easier to eliminate the C values, okay? So if I wanted to eliminate the C values, I'd have to multiply the whole bottom equation by what?
9.
Close. -9, that's right. So let me rewrite this system right here on the side. The top one's going to stay the same. And the bottom one, I'm going to distribute that 9. It'll be 9A. It'll be plus, actually, I'm sorry, -9A. And then -9C. -9C equals, and 9 times 27, -9 times 27 is -243. So there's our system that's ready now to eliminate. So let's combine the lines. 15 take away 9, that's 6 of those A's. The C's cancel, equals 285 take away 243, that's 42. So there's our simple one-step equation that we need to solve. We're going to divide by 6, and we'll get A equaling 7. So there were 7 adults on this trip. Now they are asking for how many student tickets were purchased, not how many adult tickets were purchased. That's what it says right here, how many student tickets. So if we have A being 7 and we know that there was a total of 27, so that means that there must have been 20 student tickets, 20 child tickets, right? Children, whatever. So C equals 20. Now the correct way to do that would be to take the 7 and plug it in right here for the A, and then solve the equation. It would be 7 plus C equals 27. So you subtract 7, that's how we get C equals 20. So the answer to this question is that there was 20 student tickets. Number 25, one more, solving systems. So right here, nothing's ready to cancel, so we do have to change either one or both equations. Question is, what do you want to eliminate, the X's or the Y's? Pick one.
Y's.
Go with Jezreel. Y's. Okay, now in order for the Y's to eliminate, this has to be the same exact value as this one, but totally opposite, one positive, one negative. So I need to convert this maybe to a positive 20 and convert this to a negative 20. So if I want to convert the top one to a positive 20, I'm going to have to multiply by negative what? 5. And if I want to convert the bottom one to a negative 20, it's already negative. All I have to do is multiply the bottom one by what? 4. That's right. So changing both equations, we'll get a new system that is ready to eliminate. So negative 5 times 8, that's negative 40x. Negative 5 times negative 4, that's positive 20 with the y. And then negative 5 times positive 16, that's negative 80. And on the bottom, when we go 4 times negative 5, that's negative 20x. 4 times negative 5, that's negative 20y. And 4 times 5, that's positive 20. So we have a new system here that's ready, or a new looking system that's ready to eliminate the y's. I will have negative 60x equaling negative 60. So when we divide both sides by that negative 60, we will end up with x equaling positive 1, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So we have one answer. We still need to plug it back in to solve for the other one. And you can plug it into any equation you want. Pick one, top or bottom? Bottom. All right.
Why didn't you even ask?
Negative 5x, but instead of x, I'm going to plug in a 1 right there. minus 5y equals 5. So when I do the math, negative 5 times 1, that's negative 5, minus 5y equals 5. Let's get rid of the minus 5 by going plus 5 and plus 5. Our new equation will be right here in red, negative 5y equaling 10, which means our final step would be to divide by negative 5, both sides, which gives us our final answer, y equals negative 2. Sorry, that was fast. But that's it. We're done. Let's write the answer as a ordered pair, though. Your x value is 1, your y value is negative 2. Now, of course, if you have time left over on the test, please plug in x, your 1 for x, and your negative 2 for y. So you take these two, you plug them in, make sure that it gives you 16. Take these two, plug them in, make sure that it gives you positive 5, so you can double check your answer, so you can be absolutely positive that you're right.